medical facilities have not been a place where we have had our best brought out. So to walk into a place and for the default to be total acceptance, and then Dr. Meltzer, just with this southern charm, welcomes you exactly where you are in life. And then you entrust him with your body to change, to continue this transition, which at this point is everything.
I interviewed with other doctors, and invariably they pointed their finger at Dr. Meltzer and said, for what I want, there's no one better than Dr. Meltzer.
Dr. Meltzer is somebody who really takes the time to get to know his patients, understands the struggles they've gone through, and has this unbelievable bedside manner throughout the entire process, from consultation to surgery.
It is impressive, and the way he does it engenders a confidence in you that's beyond surgical. I mean, this is so beyond the ability to move a scalpel. This is a confidence that speaks more to the confidence of being able to transition. That's invaluable.
Dr. Meltzer is my hero. And I don't need to talk about Dr. Meltzer in superlatives, but the power of what you do, Dr. Meltzer, goes way beyond your knife. Way beyond your knife.
The patients are great. I mean, you know, anybody who gets to work with them will quickly understand why I do it, because they're really genuinely appreciative for everything you do. And they're different. I mean, they're different. They're usually on the exceptionally bright and hardworking people who had to probably endure more than most of us could even imagine in terms of, their previous life to get to where they are. And so many of them sublimate into their work and career and things like that, and are fantastically well accomplished people. But they, all in all, are just the most appreciative patients that you can care for.
Dr. Meltzer and his entire office and his entire staff and his entire practice is based upon a kindness that transcends the medical doctor-patient relationship.
After Dr. Meltzer created his magic, and I present as I present today, I am received completely.
I got to think, from my very first patient that I ever operated on. Her operation really even wasn't that good because it was my very first one, and I was about ready thinking, when I walked out of the room on that case, I thought, I have no business going to this surgery. I really don't know what I'm doing. I need to learn more about the peritoneal anatomy. I need to understand the urology of this better. And I kind of walked away thinking, I'll never do this again, in the back of my mind. And the patient sent me the nicest thank you note. And it's not that that's that unusual now, but back then, you never got such a thing. I got the nicest thank you note from this patient. And, I realized they're different, and that kind of got me to, okay, I'll do another one, okay? So it's like the next one will call, okay, let's do it. And that's kind of built from that one thank you note, my very first patient. Had she not been so kind and so gracious, I probably would have given it up.
Let's welcome to the stage Dr. Toby Meltzer. Talking with before and afters behind me, so I'm going to probably just use my own notes that I did anyway. Anyway, 25 years ago, I had absolutely no idea I'd be where I am tonight. Gender confirming surgery was not even on my radar when I took an academic position at Oregon Health Sciences University in 1990. I had no experience at all doing these procedures. I had seen 2 operations. Nevertheless, I realized that I was dealing with a very special patient population that was tremendously underserved. And so I kind of went back with my dad. It still is, he's 91, he's a brilliant, hardworking man, but he always taught me that there's a solution to every problem and nothing's impossible. So my first task was to learn how to do these procedures safely. And really that's not easy because there's no fellowship in this. There's really no training program, and there still isn't in this day. And the really complicated part is learning the surgical dissection of the perineum. And I was very fortunate working in medical school that a colleague and good friend, Dr. Steve Scoot, was able to really work with me, and really I learned how to do this particular skill set to be able to get these procedures done. So after I was able to get the procedure safely done, then I was able to, I think, do improve techniques that improve sensation and function. Now, for over 20 years as a healthcare provider, advocating for trans patients, I felt the same discrimination, xenophobia, and stigmatization that my patients did. Even amongst my medical staff and you know, I guess the other physicians that I worked with. And, you know, times are changing, but, you know, I'll never forget, it was only as recent as 13 years ago that every hospital in the state of Oregon refused to let me bring my practice there. Yet they were more than willing to take my non-trans patients, and that just wasn't acceptable. It wasn't even an option. So that facilitated kind of an expedited move to Arizona. And, you know, I have to really give appreciation to Scottsdale Healthcare because they took me in and took the risk, and they've been a great partner with me. And I only see the same thing happening with Honor Healthcare. Operating and caring on patients from another state or country presents its own unique challenges, and you need the proper resources. Over the past 23 years, and I say we because my practice has always been me and a bunch of people, but we've built an incredible staff, all of them have the same commitment to my patients that I do, and I think that's largely responsible for my success. But one person I want to particularly recognize tonight is Nicola, who really should be my co-recipient. I mean, she should be standing here with me because Linda and I have been doing this almost since its inception, so 23 plus years. So she's now I can't call her my oldest employee, my maybe most senior employee, or maybe my employee with the most seniority. But she's been my co-visionary in this practice, and she's someone who's always looking forward, but never forgets what we learned from the past. She's the greatest ally, advocate, and protector of my patients in my practice. And you know, if you know Linda, you want to be on Linda's good side. You don't want to be against her. So she's a fighter. The people I take care of are really, truly amazing individuals. Most of them have to endure more than what would even seem unimaginable for most of us. Yet they are the most grateful and appreciative patients that I've ever cared for. You know, most plastic surgeons, most surgeons in general hate making rounds at the hospital because all you're going to get is see the patients, they complain about how much they hurt and everything else. But it's different from me. My patients want to be there and they're happy. It's great. So every day, practically every day, I'm thankful for helping them finish their journey, making them complete. It's a really nice experience. And so over the past 25 years, I've learned a lot from my patients. I really have. And you know, so to all of them, I want to thank you for letting me enter in your life at this short moment in time and helping me make my life's work fulfilling and complete. Thank you very much.
All right, once again, let's turn our attention to the screen for a video about Maria DeNicola.
The first trans person I never really met one-on-one was thanks to Maria and her motherly instinct of connecting us with people that she believes will help us grow.
The one person that almost all transgender women have an ongoing relationship, an electronicist.
She connected the dots between this unique needs of trans people specific to hair removal and electrolysis and long-term business opportunity. But once she found out at that stage of our journeys are very much needing support and community. She provided those things.
Maria is like a mom to all of us in the community. She kind of takes care of everyone who comes her way. Her lasagna, which is a big deal, makes us all feel like we're at home, especially when we have lost family members. She kind of gives us that second chance family.
When I became a vitologist, my dad had such an open mind, and so did our families, that he said, there was an article in the newspaper, and he said, if you find this article on this person, you'll find more people like her, and you can help them.
I sometimes joke that her office is a tea hive because trans people come and go, and she is our mother, she is our protector.
I think it's significant that Maria herself is not an LGBT person. She is an ally.
I'm uncomfortable with the word ally. I always have been because it has a certain detachment. Every ally I've ever known has been a friend, and that's exactly how I would describe Maria.
It means a lot when it's coming from an LGBT person, but it means a whole lot when it comes from someone who doesn't have to live in this world, but chooses to be here for us and with us.
Transition is something that the whole family goes through. So I always said it's my transition too. And there's a grief process with that. And that was something that Maria was really able to honor for both of us.
I'm euphoric going through transition. This is an exciting time for me. And for her, it's a tragedy. And Maria seems to be able to handle both sides of the coin.
I had the vision to see what it is, and I tell them, I help them. I get them to the other side, and I set them free. And you know who else sets them free? It's Dr. Meltzer. He sets them free. I can't tell you how shocked I am to be receiving an award for just being myself, for just being kind to people. It means everything to me right now. So proud of the community, so proud that they're actually here standing before all these LGBT people and allies being recognized. That is amazing. I'm so proud to be a part of that recognized of the transgender community. They need this so bad.
Please welcome my friend, Maria DeNicola.
Thank you. Before I begin, just for a moment, may I ask all of the transgender people here that are going to stand up and be recognized. I want to thank all of those who stood, because I know even in a safe-filled place like here with LGBT people and allies that care for them, that are simply not ready to do that. Thank you. Tonight is a supreme honor for me, and I will remember this night for the rest of my life. I am also so thrilled to share this award with a man for which I have the highest regards, Dr. Toby Meltzer. To be recognized in this way is something that I never expected, and this is one of my first times speaking in public. And I have to be honest, I was scared about actually coming up here and talking. Being on stage is a terrifying thought to me. But I stand here before you now confident, because I have seen fear before many times, and I see it every day. I'm very familiar with it. I see it when a client tells me they're about to tell their family about their true self. I hear it in the shaky voice of a client that has made up their mind to finally come out to the world and transition to their true selves. And I see it in the eyes of a new client that despite the knowledge of just being themselves completely and finally, they stand to lose everything. And yet, in the face of those fears, these amazingly brave, beautiful people go and do exactly that. Even in the face of blinding terror, they will not allow any other result but to come forth and show the world out loud in a living color. This is who I am. And this is me. Inspiring is too small of a word. I'm truly blessed to work in a community so strong, yet gentle, so giving, but often denied the basic rights themselves, so loving, but often rejected by the ones they love the most, and yet they go on. To me, this is the purest, most natural expression of the awesome powers of the human spirit. So if they can bravely face all of that and more, I certainly could take this stage to thank you and tell you about them. This award honors me, but just knowing that I am honored by the LGBT community honors me more. You have my eternal admiration. As long as I'm alive, you will have an ally to me. I would like to thank my parents, both Stephen and Sandra Alonji, for always believing in me. My husband, Angelo, my children, Stephanie, Danny, and Gianni, for always supporting my work in the transgender community, even when it wasn't easy for them to do so. Vanessa and Stephanie are here, both representing our office, both fearlessly serving our community for the past 10 years. Present is our oldest transgender client, Ashley. We're setting her free in 2 months. She's going to be getting her surgery by Dr. Meltzer. She is almost 80 years old. I want to thank Donna Rose and Dr. Bobby Lancaster for nominating me. And I want to thank you for this award. I am truly grateful. After 34 years, I have learned a lot working with the LGBT community, but the lesson that I've learned the most is best summed up by W. Clement Stone. He said, "Thinking will not overcome fears, but actions will." I hope that my actions have helped the transgender people move forward, to allow them to take their own action to become who they truly are. Finally, completely, and fearlessly, thank you.